best we have ever had. Credible persons are being recruited and trained to handle polling units and collection centers at all levels. Our card readers have been upgraded and will be deployed to all polling units to prevent voter impersonation. We will involve technology in the conduct of elections to prevent fraud. Your votes will count. Join hands with the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). Let's make Nigeria proud. This message is from the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). INEC, making your votes count, consolidating our democracy.
Hotels and Air Fusion, we give the best of hospitality. From point of reception to catering service, we lead others follow. Our rooms are designed for taste and affordability. Diplomatic double, diplomatic suite, deluxe room, deluxe suite, business suite, and royal suite are ready for take. Just Hotels by Air Fusion. You can book our facility ahead of your arrival. Our telephone numbers are 0803 720 8713, 0814-888-7708, or 0903-503-7112. Our power generator sustains you for record call in our bar for your relaxation. Ample space for car park, seminar, conference, wedding ceremony, and other social events is available for comfort and safety. Just for Hotels by Air Fusion. We ease your stress with old school generation, 7:30 p.m. second Thursdays every month. Ain't nothing like it. Just for Hotels by Air Fusion. Experience ecstasy.
Tí mo wípé ẹ ó ti máa òǹgbẹ ìgbádùn ìdí rèé táwa náà fi máa fún yín ní ìgbádùn àwọn ìtàn mánigbàgbé lákòókò yìí bí ẹ bá ṣe ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú àjẹtẹ́nu àwọn ìtàn amúnúsọkútú wọ̀wọ̀ la ó máa gbọ́ ààbọ̀ àwọn àwòyánú ìtàn amúniru kí ni ó ṣẹlẹ̀ òun kàyéfì lóríṣiríṣi fún yín pabambarì ibẹ̀ làwọn eré amúnirẹ́rìn tàkìtì lórí àga kò wá tán síbẹ̀ o a ó tún fi èrè kún fún yín pẹ̀lú àwọn eré ìtàgé òun ìfẹ́ tọ́kàn yín fẹ́ gangan ẹ sanwó oṣù méjì kẹ́ ẹ kó fáìlàjì nínú owó oṣù kejì ìyẹn gángan nìtẹ́lọ́rùn Star Times nítorí náà lákòókò ìsinmi ọdún yìí wá fún ara rẹ ẹbí àtọ̀rẹ́ lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ ìgbádùn pẹ̀lú àwọn ààyò tó tiwantiwa àti tòkè òkun bẹ̀rẹ̀ látọjọ́ kìíní oṣù kejìlá ọdún 2018 títí di ọjọ́ kọkànlélọ́gbọ̀n oṣù kìíní ọdún 2019 Star Times jẹ̀gbádùn ayé digital. Nta Abeokuta, solid as the rock.
On the news tonight, former President Olusegun Obasanjo urges Nigerians to participate en masse in the forthcoming general elections. Troops of 112 Task Force neutralizes 2 Boko Haram terrorists in clearance operation. APM gubernatorial candidate promises prosperous Ogun State if elected in the forthcoming general election. Now the news. Troops of 112 Task Force Battalion conducting clearance operation in the general area of Zaza, Kajerimaye, and Kajerimaiburem villages of Mafa local government area of Borno State have killed 2 Boko Haram terrorists in an encounter. The terrorists who had infiltrated Kajerimaye village to unleash mayhem on the communities ran out of luck as the vigilant troops projected their clearance operation to the village and fearlessly engaged the terrorists in combat, killing 2 of them. During the operation, the gallant troops rescued 2 women who had been held hostage by the terrorists and have since handed them over to officials of Mafa internally displaced person camp. The troops also recovered 1 primed 36 hand grenade, 2 Dane guns, 1 locally fabricated short barrel gun, 2 mobile phones, 1 AK-47 rifle magazine, 17 rounds of anti-aircraft gun ammunition, 27 rounds of 7.62 mm special ammunition, and 22 rounds of 7.62 mm NATO ammunition. Currently, the troops are on the trail of those who escaped the onslaught as they continue with the clearance operations to seek out and destroy any existing terrorist camp in the rural area. It was a Herculean task for law enforcement agencies to control the crowd that converged in Jos, the Plateau State capital, to renew allegiance to the governing APC and declare support for the re-election bid of President Muhammadu Buhari and Governor Simon Lalong. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
The show of love for President Muhammadu Buhari in Jos by the people of Plateau State has always been massive anytime he pays a visit. But the passion with which such love was demonstrated this time around was not only instructive, but indeed a statement delivered as to where their hope and allegiance lie. President Muhammadu Buhari is here in the home of peace at the head of the APC presidential campaign team to make a strong case for his re-election. Getting to Rampang Stadium, venue of the campaign rally by the presidential motorcade was, however, difficult because of the innumerable numbers in the welcoming party. President Buhari eventually got to the stadium, but the place was completely overrun by a sea of humanity made up of his aesthetic supporters. So much was the tumult that the Nigerian leader could not deliver his address, but received some illustrious Plateau citizens who defected from other political parties. The president waited for about 1 hour for the melee to recede, but rather it continued to increase in tempo and fervor. He therefore waved the appreciative crowd and left the venue. In a statement shortly after, President Buhari thanked Plateau people for their steadfastness and continued demonstration of faith in his administration. He, however, sued for greater restraint, saying campaign programs must be allowed to run as planned, since it is also an opportunity for him to give a stewardship report. President Buhari had earlier paid a courtesy visit to the Plateau State Council of Traditional Rulers, led by the Bongo Jos, Jacob Gang Buba, at his palace. He urged the royal fathers to work towards maintaining peace in their domains as prerequisite for any meaningful development.
My appeal to you to maintain contact with those who influence the young people outside. We are trying to prepare the future of the country for them and let them behave themselves.
I want to assure you there is now peace in the state. We are coming at an appropriate time where peace is being maintained and restored in Plateau State.
As fathers of the land, we want to assure Mr. President that we will do our best to talk to our people to maintain the peace.
Campaign visits resume on Monday as the president promised to be at all parts of the country before the 14th of next month. In Jos, Adamu Sambo.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has assured traders in the country of federal government's continuous support towards the growth of their business through a component of the federal government's social investment program, Trader Money. The Vice President stated this shortly after launching the Trader Money initiative in Benin City, Edo State capital. Goodluck Enami has details.
Was accompanied by State Governor Mr. Godwin Obaseki and some officials from the federal and state government were received by traders at the markets amidst cheers. The Vice President who was delighted with turnout of the traders, went round the market and educated the traders on various steps taken by the federal government to better their lot. They believed that the trader money will assist them to build their trade, as government is ready to do more for them to grow their business. Some traders who received the trader money alert of 10,000 naira during the visit expressed their joy.
Some believe say no go work, but who knows say go work, because when government promise, not the shoot.
Yeah, it's true. Yes, it's true.
I feel better. I feel fine. I came here to register for my mom, and my mom has already got him.
Professor Simbajo was at the Edo Youth Summit, where he charged the youth to take advantage of the opportunities around them to build their future.
The difference between success and failure is character, regardless of talent. As I'm saying, no matter how talented you are, if you lack that central thing called character, it's extremely difficult to succeed. You must gain trust.
The Minister of State for Petroleum, Dr. Ibe Kachiku, and the District Governor, Godwin Obaseki, in their separate remarks, expressed the commitment of both the state and federal government in Benin. Good luck, Inaini. NTA News.
Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has advised Nigerians to come out en masse to participate in the forthcoming general elections in the overall interest of the country. Afolabi Lawal reports that Chief Obasanjo gave the advice in Abeokuta at a press conference. His report.
As preparations for the 2019 general elections gets underway, former President Obasanjo joined eminent Nigerians to lend his voice to the call for a free, fair and violence-free election. In a State of the Nation address tagged Points for Concern and Action, he charged the electorates not to sell their votes, warning that such a practice will hunt back in the way of poor infrastructural development.
Let me say again that Nigeria belongs to all Nigerians and exists for the benefit of all Nigerians and non-Nigerians who desire to live or do business in and with Nigeria.
The 16-page address also touched on economy, judiciary, security and the vast potential in the country, with hope for a greater Nigeria.
The Allied People's Movement APM governorship candidate in Ogun State, Honorable Abdulkabir Akilade, has reiterated his commitment to a greater and more prosperous Ogun State if elected in the forthcoming general elections. The APM standard bearer made this known as he took his campaign train on a tour of the 11 wards in Yewa North local government area. Correspondent Mohammed Adibowale has details.
The joy of the Ogbado people knew no bounds as they welcomed the governorship candidates of the Allied People's Movement APM, Honorable Abdulkabir Adekunle Akinade, to the axis on a word-to-word campaign. The campaign train moved from Jagaurine, Iboro, Imashai, Idofoyi, Suwa, Ayetoro, among other places.
That APM is calling to win the election. Yes, we are circumstances of emergency back politically, but since 30 days ago that we have launched this political party, Allied People's Movement, it has been wholeheartedly welcome and accepted by the people. Those governors, governors. What do I mean? Let us see the price. Whatever the user will get to resolve it and bring government to the people.
Addressing people of the area, Honorable Akinade advised them to take advantage of the opportunity by voting massively for him, bearing in mind that since the creation of the state, fewer people have not been given the opportunity to take a shot at the governorship seat.
You complain about your schools, you complain about your schools, you complain about that. You have the opportunity to define your future in the West and the state. Your vote was out.
While charging the people to go and collect their PVCs, Honorable Akinade expressed confidence that with the support of the people across the length and breadth of the state, victory is assured.
I don't place as the proponents of two people of the state. I shall, I will, the right to the governor, the state governor of the state.
It was more of an homecoming for the governorship candidate as he interacted with traditional rulers in the area from Egbado North Local Government area from the state. Mohammed Adebowale, NT.
Still on election campaign, the Allied People's Movement in Ogun State has promised to prioritize the welfare of people living in the rural area if elected into office in the forthcoming general elections in the Gateway State. Correspondent Ayode Legbede reports that the gubernatorial candidate of the party in Ogun State, Abdulkabir Adekunle Akinlade, made this known as his campaign team visited Ijebu East local government area in continuation of the 2019 ward-to-ward tour. His report.
It was a moment of excitement and joy as the campaign train of the gubernatorial candidate of the Allied People's Movement (APM), Honorable Abdulkabir Adekunle Akinlade, visited the Ijebu East local government area of Ogun State, where the people received the team with open hands. Places visited include Italy, Ajibandele, Imobi, among others. Honorable Akinlade, while expressing gratitude to the people of the state for the mandates given him, urged them to support his ambition to take Ogun to the next level. Recalling the giant strides of the incumbent administration in urban development, Akinlade promised to prioritize the development and growth of the rural areas. The governorship candidates promised to create Ministry of Trade and Investment and provide incentives such as land and agricultural facilities to boost the state's economy.
What we want to do is to open up our rural communities. We will open our communities, we will invest in our people, we will construct our schools, please tell our true brothers and our young people that this is our future. You voted here, you vote our future. Please come out and vote. Vote APM.
The residents enjoined the APM candidates in the state to stand by their campaign promises if elected into power.
They should make sure all his promises should make them to be reality. Because most people have been coming to this world and this local government telling us they will do this and that. They were unable to fulfill.
And they promise about the road of this local government. They promise about the water, the many things. Any of the day they cannot even make it. What I advise him today, I take the name of God back him, say that if they enter, let's try to do what they promise for us.
The 2019 word-to-word tour continues. From Ijebu East local government area of Ogun State, Ayode Legbede, NT News.
You're watching Channel 12 News live on Nta Abeokuta. There will be more news after this time out. Do stay tuned.
The Channel 12 News on Nta Abeokuta. We tell the true story of any events at all times from all sides. Join us for a broadcast of our daily news at 1 to 1:30 a.m. Mondays through Fridays, and 1:30 to 2 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. The Channel 12 News broadcast, telling true stories at all times from all sides. Join us.
Happy New Year to everyone!
Hello children, Nta Abeokuta Zodiac Children's birthday party is here again. Come let's celebrate. Our special guest of honor is our amiable governor, Senator Ibekunle Ambeson, our founder and a lover of children. Party date, Saturday 26th January 2019. Time 12 noon. Venue, Nta Abeokuta Urban Premises. Gate fee, 1,000 naira. Lots of fun awaits you. There'll be plenty to eat and multiple gifts to take home. The Nta Abeokuta Zodiac Children's birthday party. It's a show to remember. Be
Welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. The outgone week was characterized by a number of events. Sit back and watch tonight's edition of Week in Review as packaged by Lukman Adefeso.
On Week in Review tonight, Governor Adekunle Amosun led 4 paramount rulers from the 4 zones and heads of military formations in the traditional laying of rite to solemnize the 2019 Armed Forces Members' Day celebrations in Ogun State. Gun salute, special prayers and special military parade by men of the armed forces and paramilitary were in honor of the fallen heroes and heroine, while Governor Amosun, paramount rulers and heads of military formations in the state took time to lay rates at the cenotaph.
They will see that all of us will come to respect them. People don't know. Look at this legal salute. It goes a long way. That yes, they are being remembered.
The management of the Nigerian Television Authority, Nta Abeokuta, in the course of the outgone week, paid a court controller, Nigerian Customs Service or State Command to find a common ground where the 2 federal government agencies can build on the existing synergy to curb smuggling activities across all border points in the state. The Controller of Customs, Michael Agbara, called on Nigerians to patriot and embrace the government policy on diversification in order to improve local economy. On a part, the General Manager Nta Abeokuta Funmiwakama promised that NTA will add values to the anti-smuggling campaign of the Customs Service. In the course of the week, the National Orientation Agency (NOA) State Office engaged electorates on voter education, especially on how they can cast their votes and make it count so as to reduce number of void votes in the forthcoming general elections. The State Director of National Orientation Agency (NOA), Shola Babalola, advised politicians not to only rely on campaign for voters but educate them on how to cast their vote appropriately.
We now concluded that every vote in the 2019 general election must count.
In the course of the outgone week, the governor of Ogun State, who is also contesting for the Ogun Central Senatorial seat, Adekunle Amosun, in the course of his campaign tour to Obafemi Owode, said the state government will implement a 40-year master plan for all-round development of the state.
Anybody that meanwhile will not come to you, I want to take your PVC away, which is what is happening. And that's why we are talking to them.
The campaign train of the governorship candidate of Allied People's Movement, APM, Honorable Adekunle Abdulkabir toured the 11 wards of the Ijebu North local government, where he promised that if elected, his government will create opportunity for massive job creation and youth employment, and as well improve the socio-economic well-being of the people of Ogun State. In another mega rally, he promised to prioritize improved road networks, qualitative healthcare delivery, education for the rural dwellers.
Infrastructure is one of the most important elements that affects the lives of everyone. I hereby mention this for this divisional headquarters as the next level safety and security of the state. God bless all of you.
In the course of the week, the Nigerian Police Overseas Command commissioned the newly upgraded Enugada Police Divisional Headquarters in Abeokuta. The Commissioner of Police Ahmed Ilyasu promised that officers in the command will carry out their duties professionally and in accordance with the international best practices during the forthcoming general elections. That concludes our package on Weekend David Night. Join us next time for a fresh package. Good night.
And that's our bit for now. Thank you so much for joining us.
Ẹ̀túyàyà jáde láti lọ dìbò fún ẹni tí ọkàn yín yàn. Ààrẹ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí tẹ́lẹ̀ rí Olóyè Ọbásanjọ́ ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ ó gbádùn mùdùmúdù ìṣèjọba àwarawa nípínlẹ̀ Ògùn tẹ́ ẹ bá dìbò yàn mí sípò. Adíje dupò lábẹ́ àsíá ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APM ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. ẹ kú dédé àsìkò yìí, orúkọ tèmi ni Ayọ̀adé Elégbèdé. Ìròyìn àwọn afọ láti iléeṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣàn ìjọba àpapọ̀ tó kalẹ̀ sílùú Abẹ́òkúta ìròyìn lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́. Àwọn ọmọ ogun orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n kojú ìwà sùmọ̀mí ní agbègbè Zaza Kejerimayi Burem ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Mafa ní ìpínlẹ̀ Borno ni wọ́n ti pa àwọn adúkòkò mọ́ ẹ̀mí ẹni ti ikọ̀ Boko Haram méjì ní agbègbè ọ̀hún. Àwọn oníṣẹ́ láabi ọ̀hún ni wọ́n ti ṣe ọṣẹ́ ní agbègbè Kejerimayi níbi tí wọ́n sì ti kan àgbákò àwọn ológun ọ̀hún tí ó ṣe ìkọlù fún wọn. Lákòókò iṣẹ́ náà ni àwọn ológun orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ti rí arábìnrin kan kó yọ nínú ìgbèkùn wọn níbi tí wọ́n tọ́jú rẹ̀ sí, tí ó sì gba ìdáǹdè látara bẹ́ẹ̀. Bákan náà, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ohun ìjà olóró ni wọ́n rí gbà padà ní ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn onísùmọ̀mí ènìyàn ọ̀hún. Wọ́n wá rọ gbogbo àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà láti máa fojú fílẹ̀ kí wọ́n sì máa fi tó àwọn elétò ààbò orílẹ̀-èdè yìí létí bí wọ́n bá kófìrí ẹnikẹ́ni tí ó ń hu ìwà láabi ní agbègbè tí wọ́n bá wà. Ààrẹ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tẹ́lẹ̀ rí olóyè Olúṣẹ́gun Ọbásanjọ́ ni ó ti rọ gbogbo ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà láti túyáyá jáde lọ di ìbò ní àkókò ètò ìdìbò àpapọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa tó súnmọ́ lé báyìí fún ìdàgbàsókè orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Akọrin wa Afọlábí Làwáò ni ó jábọ̀ ìròyìn wípé olóyè Ọbásanjọ́ ni ó sọ èyí ní ìlú Abẹ́òkúta tí ṣe olúìlú ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn nígbà tí ó ń bá àwọn akọ̀ròyìn sọ̀rọ̀. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí akọ̀ròyìn wa ti sọ, ó wípé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ìkànnì ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ni wọ́n ti sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ètò ìdìbò àpapọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa tí ó ń bọ̀ lọ́nà báyìí àti láti pèsè ọ̀nà tí yóò fi lọ ní ìrọ̀wọ́ ìrọsẹ̀. Pẹ̀lú yìí sì ni ààrẹ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tẹ́lẹ̀ rí olóyè Olúṣẹ́gun Ọbásanjọ́ ṣe darapọ̀ mọ́ àwọn ìkànnì yìí láti sọ̀rọ̀ lórí bí wọ́n ṣe lè mú kí ètò ìdìbò àpapọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa lọ ní ìrọ̀wọ́ ìrọsẹ̀. Nígbà tí ó ń bá àwọn akọ̀ròyìn sọ̀rọ̀ lórí àwọn ohun tí wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe àti àwọn ohun tí ó yẹ kí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn mọ̀, yóò rọ àwọn olùdìbò láti rí dájú pé wọ́n kò ta ìbò wọn, tí ó sì ṣe kìlọ̀kìlọ̀ wípé ẹnikẹ́ni tí ó bá ṣe èyí ni ó ní ìfàsẹ́yìn dé bá ìdàgbàsókè orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Nínú ìwé tí ó ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ rẹ̀ síta tí ó jẹ́ olójúlé 16 ni ó ti sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ètò ọrọ̀ ajé orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà, ẹ̀ka ìdájọ́, ètò ààbò àti àwọn ohun àlùmọ́ọ́nì tí orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ní, tí ó sì ṣe wípé tí wọ́n bá ṣe àmúlò rẹ̀ ó lè mú kí ìdàgbàsókè dé bá orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú All Progressive Allied People's Movement ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ni wọ́n ti sọ wípé àwọn yóò rí dájú wípé wọ́n mú ìdàgbàsókè dé bá ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn bí wọ́n bá dìbò yàn wọ́n sípò ní ìpínlẹ̀ yìí. Ẹni tó jẹ́ adíje dupò lábẹ́ àsíá ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú náà fún ipò gómìnà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ló sọ èyí nígbà tí ó ṣe àbẹ̀wò sí ẹkùn ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Àríwá Yewa ní ìpínlẹ̀ yìí. Akọrin wa Mohammed Adébọ̀wálé ni ó jábọ̀ ìròyìn náà. Ẹ gbọ́ síwájú sí i.
Ìdùnnú àti ayọ̀ ló jẹ́ nígbà tí àwọn ènìyàn ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Àríwá Yewa ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ń gba àlejò adíje sí ipò gómìnà lábẹ́ àsíá ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú Allied People's Movement APM Honourable Abdulkabir Adékúnlé Akínládé sí ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ wọn, níbi tí ó ti wá ṣe ètò ìpolongo ìbò. Ọkọ̀ ìpolongo ìbò náà lọ láti Ìjànká Orílẹ̀, Ìbéèrè, Ìmáṣàyí, Ìdòfòyí, Sanwá tí ó fi lọ sí Ayétòrò dé àwọn ibòmíràn. Nígbà tí ó ń bá àwọn ènìyàn agbègbè náà sọ̀rọ̀, ọ̀gbẹ́ni Akínládé rọ̀ wọ́n wípé kí wọ́n má ṣe jẹ́ kí irúfẹ́ àǹfààní báyìí ó fò wọ́n ru nípa pé kí wọ́n dìbò fún òun, kí wọ́n sì máa rántí pé láti bí ọdún bíi 43 tí a ti ṣe ìdásílẹ̀ ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn, ẹnì kankan láti Yewa kò tí ì dé ipò gómìnà rí. Nígbà tí ó bá àwọn ènìyàn ní sọ̀rọ̀ láti lọ gba àwọn káàdì ìdìbò wọn, Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Akínládé fi àmì ìdánilójú hàn wípé ní agbára Ọlọ́run àti àtìlẹ́yìn gbogbo ènìyàn jákèjádò ìpínlẹ̀ yìí, àṣeyọrí yóò jẹ́ ti ẹgbẹ́ APM.
Ní agbára Ọlọ́run àti àtìlẹ́yìn Olúwa, yóò ti rí gómìnà ìdíje
Bákan náà, níbi tí ó ti ní ìfọ̀rọ̀wérọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn ọba aláyé ní agbègbè náà, àwọn ọba náà ṣe ìlérí láti ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn fún kí ìdàgbàsókè ọ̀tun kí ó lè dé bá gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yewa lápapọ̀. Láti agbègbè Ẹ̀gbádùn ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Àríwá Yewa, Mohammed Adébọ̀wálé ni ó ti ń jábọ̀ ròyìn.
Bákan náà, ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APM ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ti sọ wípé àwọn yóò rí dájú wípé wọ́n mú kí ìdàgbàsókè kí ó bá àwọn ìgbèríko káàkiri ní ìpínlẹ̀ yìí bí wọ́n bá dìbò yàn wọ́n sí ipò nínú ètò ìdìbò àpapọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa tí yóò wáyé láìpẹ́ jọjọ. Akọ̀ròyìn wa tí ó jábọ̀ ìròyìn ọ̀hún ni ó sọ wípé díje dupò lábẹ́ àsíá ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú náà fún ipò gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn Abdulkabir Adékúnlé Akínládé ni ó sọ èyí nígbà tí ikọ̀ ìpolongo ìbò rẹ̀ ṣe àbẹ̀wò sí ẹkùn Ìjẹ̀bú ní ìtẹ̀síwájú ìpolongo ìbò ojúlé sí ojúlé tí wọ́n ń ṣe tí ó sì jábọ̀ ìròyìn náà wípé ó jẹ́ àkókò ìdùnnú àti ayọ̀ bí ikọ̀ ìpolongo adíje dupò lábẹ́ àsíá ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú Allied People's Movement Abdulkabir Adékúnlé Akínládé ṣe àbẹ̀wò sí ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ ọ̀hún níbi tí àwọn ènìyàn ti fi tọ̀yàyà gbà á. Lára àwọn ibi tí wọ́n ṣe àbẹ̀wò sí ni Ìtẹ̀lé, Ajébándélé, Gbámúgbàmù, Ìmòbì àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Akínládé ni ó wá dúpẹ́ gidigidi lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn fún àǹfààní tí wọ́n fún un láti díje dupò lábẹ́ àsíá ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APM tí ó sì wá sọ wípé òun nílò ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ gbogbo àwọn èèyàn láti rí i dájú pé òun gbé ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn dé ibi gíga. Nígbà tí ó ń sọ wípé ìjọba tó wà lórí àlééfà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn báyìí ni wọ́n ti ṣe gudugudu méje yàyà mẹ́fà. Akínládé ni ó ṣèlérí láti mú kí ìdàgbàsókè kí ó wáyé ní àwọn ẹkùn ìgbèríko káàkiri ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn. Bákan náà ó ṣèlérí láti ṣe ìdásílẹ̀ iléeṣẹ́ tí yóò máa bójútó ètò káràkátà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn tí yóò sì pèsè ilẹ̀, àwọn ohun èlò ohun ọ̀gbìn àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ láti mú kí ètò ọrọ̀ ajé ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn kí ó túbọ̀ gbèrú sí i. Àwọn olùgbé ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ni wọ́n wá rọ adíje dupò lábẹ́ àsíá ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú náà láti rí i pé ó dúró pẹ̀lú àwọn ìlérí tí ó ṣe kí ó sì rí i dájú pé òun mú wá sí ìmúṣẹ. Ìpolongo ìbò náà ni ó ṣì ń tẹ̀síwájú sí i. A ní rí jù báyìí lórí ìròyìn wa báyìí. Ẹ pàdé wa lọ́la fún àkọ́tún ìròyìn mìíràn. Ó dàárọ̀.